Welcome back, my baby birds. It's Crypto Guy on the internet here from Market Cipher, and I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I've seen market sentiment go all over the place. It's altcoin season, it's a bull trap, this is great, oh god, I'm panicking, it's the end, I've missed it, what do I do? I'm just here to tell you to calm down. It's business as usual. We knew this was going to happen. It's okay. So I'm going to go over some of the major catalysts that have happened lately. A nice summary for you. And then a few coins that I've been looking at with a little bit of insight. And then I want to show you a sneak peek of a project I've been working on. So it all starts with Jerome Powell. He had a rough night. So he's in front of the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C., delivering a deadly serious speech. The IMF controls where the money goes throughout the world. These are extremely important, shadowy people. And Jerome, the guy in charge of America's money printer, gets on stage and he goes, "Guys, I can't cut rates anytime soon. I got to keep hiking them. This is worse than I thought. I know it's strangling economies all over the world, and we got to keep lying about the numbers, but this is bad. We're nowhere near our goal." So he's in the middle of this speech, and this happens.
Growth to moderate in coming quarters.
Who's that in the background?
Of course.
Jerome Powell, by refusing to treat climate change like a systemic
Okay,
risk
thank you.
you are putting us at
Thank you very
risk of
much.
economic disaster.
Thank you very much.
Climate change
Yep.
will
Thank you. Just close this fucking door. Close the door. Just close this fucking door. Close the door.
So Jerome had it. And this tells me two things. That's pretty funny that Jerome is a human. I thought he was half robot, but he gets annoyed just like us. And so I kind of like him more now. How does he not have 10 former UFC heavyweight champions around him at all times? He's giving a serious speech to serious people about the future of the world. And it gets interrupted by some college kids talking about the climate. So this news comes out. Powell says the end of rate hikes isn't here yet. It's still going to be rough for a while. And that caused some fear, abrupt fear in the market, okay? And then Moody's turns negative on the US credit rating. They dropped us down to negative. And Moody's says, listen, the US has way too much debt. They are panic selling bonds to try to stay afloat, but cannot afford the interest payments. And their Congress cannot seem to work out a deal and fix this inflation in a reasonable way. And so Moody's downgrades us. The mushroom lady, Janet Yellen, says ignore Moody's suddenly because they're mean to me now. But then, magically, the CPI report came out and it was ever so slightly better than expected. We thought it would be 3.3. It was 3.2. Now somebody fudged the numbers. We know this is all fake. It's a house of cards held together with gum. But the response to the fake numbers is real. That caused the DXY to go down, which means stocks go up. And that's what happened today. And on top of that, the House, the Republican House, got a new speaker. And I like this guy so far. He's right down to business. He's kind of like if AI generated a Republican. So he comes out right away and he's like, listen, I will continue to fund the government to stop a shutdown, but I need to see some cuts to even out this spending. We got way too much spending. That's what we wanted from McCarthy and all 50 guys before him. So this dude's coming out swinging, and I like it. So the House passes the initial write-up. It's going to the Senate, and we'll see if it goes any further than that. Now, how's Jim Cramer looking? What does he have to say? Uh-oh. Cramer says the economy is headed for a soft landing. But the easy money has already been made. So this means that we're heading for a hard landing, but there's a lot more easy money to be made. If Cramer says we're headed for a soft landing, that means if you have an extra car, like a Miata or something, or a nice watch that you don't really wear, or a bicycle you don't use, a few kids you don't like, sell it all! because you're going to need that money for food pretty soon. Or dry powder to play around with crypto because there's a lot more easy money to be made. So thanks, Jim. Doing the opposite of what you say has made me a wealthy man. And lastly, one little piece of FUD for Ethereum, and I don't know if this is nonsense or not, but a guy is threatening to expose Vitalik as a fraudster in some way. Okay, well, does that affect Ethereum? Being accused of something doesn't make it true, but even if Vitalik is doing some tomfoolery, we had the ETHGATE rumors from a while back, I don't really care, because Ethereum's tech works. It's number one. Everybody's building stuff on it. Now, I don't think Ethereum's going to be around forever. It's going to be replaced by somebody like Solana at some point. But for the foreseeable future, Ethereum is top dog behind Bitcoin. And even if there's somebody, Vitalik's being a goon on the side, I don't really care, as long as Ethereum continues to work as well as it has. So looking at the market, today we had the CPI report, and that made everybody confident again. So they took their profits from this crypto rally and moved it into their favorite stocks like Tesla and Amazon and the other stuff. That's all that happened today. Still got all these headwinds, but people went, and they took a breath of fresh air and bought a little stock. Okay, no problem. I myself trimmed the hedges a little bit. I took some profit and then made my stock portfolio a little more modest because I want more dry powder for crypto. Crypto's going to be where it's at, man. So looking at Bitcoin's price action, let's just go to the daily here. We have a little bit of a retrace, a reasonable retrace, and this caused people to freak out for some reason. I don't see why. This is what you want. You want it to go up in a stutter step, like a ladder. You want to build support and keep going up. If you go straight up, you fall straight down. So this is a reasonable pullback, as to be expected. Really, all we need is to maintain 31,000. If we retrace all the way down to 31,000, I'm still bullish. I will DCA right here. In fact, I have a buy just set up just in case. I don't think we'll go down this far, but we could. And if we do, I'm still bullish. Don't worry about it. It's an opportunity for you. It doesn't change a thing. We still have the ETFs up in the air. BlackRock is still all in on Bitcoin. That hasn't changed. And they've even applied for a spot Ethereum ETF. And that helped Ethereum's price action a little bit as well. So they got the same retrace across almost the entire crypto market. They all kind of behave the same way. But I think it's short-lived. We needed a retrace, and this is healthy price action. A while back on my own channel, I thought, and this is back when we were like 26, bouncing around in here still, I thought we would close the year out at 35. Close the year out at 35. And then I took a Chipotle shit and missed this whole thing. So now we're up to, 35 again. We did touch almost 38 for a moment. This is still good. I'm happy. I like where things are going. You still have a little more time to accumulate, because once it gets up here, 40, 50, 60, 100,000, it's going to be really hard to buy Bitcoin, man. So get it while you can. I still think that way. On to Ethereum, hanging around 2,000. If this spot Ethereum ETF comes out, great, but that's going to be behind the Bitcoin one. That's where the big money's going. And then there was a rumor of an XRP ETF, but that doesn't make sense. I didn't respond to that news. It ended up being fake, but before it was even proven as fake, I just thought for a second, I'm going, that doesn't make sense for an XRP ETF. Maybe later, but not now. It's way too early. BlackRock would not do something silly like that. And indeed, the news was fake, so we wicked up and wicked right back down. XRP is still kind of hanging. I think they're working on a settlement with the SEC, last I heard. AVAX is at a critical spot right here. So if you use there's a tool on TradingView called Fixed Range Volume Profile. Fixed Range Volume Profile. So you click that and you put 2 points wherever you want, and it measures clumps of price volume. And so, you can kind of eyeball where the volume is, right? But this makes it as an easy visual. So we can see here, going back to the beginning of the year, we have a lot of volume in the $17 to $18 range. So if we can turn that range into support after like a weekly close, there's not much in the way after this. So we're right in the thick of it right now, between like $17 and $18. If we can flip this, get above it, get to like $18.25, close there on a weekly, I think AVAX can keep moving up. Solana has a slightly different story. They've already surpassed, a long time ago, the hairiest areas of volume. So now they're kind of in just wide open price action. There's really not much history here where they're headed. I mean, this is going all the way back to the beginning of Solana. This coin in particular went straight up and straight down based on FTX, largely. They were their biggest backer, and FTX collapsed, and now there's rumors that they're going to relaunch FTX with new management. But Solana was kind of hanging around 20, 30 bucks for ages. And so you see all that volume in that area, and we had a bunch more up here in the mid-30s, but we've surpassed that. And if we can hang at this new range in the mid-50s, I don't see why we can't clear all the way up to 80 bucks. Maybe beyond that, because that's the next time you get a little bit of volume. Right here, like $81, $82 is a bit of resistance. So unless some new narrative comes out, I think Solana can go all the way to $80 over the next couple of months. And market Cipher kind of gives me a little confidence on that idea. The money flows strong. The VWAP's going back and forth nice and healthy. The RSIs are right on top of each other. I like it. Let's look on some closer time frames, like the 12-hour. Glean a little more interest. Yeah, on closer time frames, there's even more money flow. I also have like a traditional stochastic RSI here, just in case you're looking on a phone or something. It's easier to look at. We're kind of towards the bottom of the range here, almost oversold in the 12-hour, and that's great because then it moves back up. So we're in a bit of a retrace, a little accumulation in a nice zone here, mid-50s. And this is kind of building the next rung of the ladder for us to jump up to the next level. I'm excited for Solana. I like it. MATIC, look at how similar that looked. Boom, boom. A lot of these cryptos behave the same way. So MATIC is also at a critical area here, taking price action from March of 22 to now. We're right in the thick of it again. Right where we're at. 92 cents. We had to flip and use that as support, and we're sitting right there. So we have one more bar of a lot of volume in this area. It gets a little, it's like going into the woods, okay? There's soldiers shooting everywhere. It's tough in this spot. But if we can get past this, if we can get to like $1.02 and have a weekly close there, now it's a little easier. There's not as much jungle animals out here. Up here, it's a little clearer. And then you run into like, where's the next volume bar? That's not much. 110, we can get through that. But up here, it gets a little rough, around 140. I think MATIC has more room to go as well. So the market as a whole can get bearish and can get scared, and price action never goes straight up. But overall, it looks good. It looks bullish. So you're going to have some pullback days. You might even have a rough week or two. But overall, if you zoom out, it's still looking bullish. The last one I'm looking at is Chainlink. Chainlink had a really cool story. Now, you can correct me in the comments, but here's how I understood it. Chainlink has been working on something big for the last 3 years. They call it CCIP. CCIP as a way to worldwide webify Web 3.0. So Web 2.0, the internet that we currently use, you can jump from website to website to website with ease. Even though all of these sites are all built on their own software, their own languages, they're on their own servers somewhere on the world, we don't care. As the viewer, we can go to site seamlessly with no issue whatsoever. But Web 3.0, the next version of the internet, it's all blockchain based. Each of these blockchains are isolated, creating their own little bubble, these ecosystems. You have the Solana blockchain and the Doge blockchain and Avalanche and Cosmos, and they're all fighting each other for users. They're all developing what they think is going to be the next best thing, right? But nothing really links them all together. So if Web 2.0 was operating like that, if you wanted to go to themessenger.com, you'd have to have software just to look at that website. If you want to go to CNN.com, you need software just to look at that website. And what a pain that would be. You can't just browse websites into whatever you want. It's like you need a different wallet and a different login for each goofy website. But with Chainlink's CCIP protocol, all of that gets linked together. So you have these decentralized apps on all these different blockchains, but they can all interrelate. As a user, you can jump between them with ease. And if that's true, if this is real and it works the way Chainlink describes, this is the most important altcoin you can own for the long-term future of crypto and Web 3.0. Because Chainlink was the top oracle. They already had a strong spot carved out for themselves. They don't really have any competition. They're the best oracle there is by a long shot. And now they're talking about CCIP being the World Wide Web of Web 3.0. That's what links it all together and makes the whole thing work. That's a great idea. If they can make that function the way they promise, holy cow. That's the best story I've heard in a long time. CRO coin, crypto.com, they had a nice jump. They're down here in the nether regions, and they jumped 150% up to, wow, 12 cents briefly, and then retraced down to where we are now, 8.5. So, hey, you know, crypto.com is still around when many others have fallen. So I'm happy for them. If they could just make it so I could use crypto.com on my desktop, maybe they already have. The last I checked, it's like a mobile app only, and I'm not going to trade crypto on my phone. That's just goofy to me. I don't feel confident in that yet. But that's where we're at. Bottom line is, relax. It's all right. We know how this works. The big boys, the market makers, they're going to try to flush out the pencil necks. It always works. There's always a new sucker, and things are going to break with these rate hikes and such. It's going to be a hard landing. Remember, the opposite of what Cramer says. It's going to be rough out there. But we're not going to be the thing that breaks. Not you and me. We're going to make it to the end, and we're going to come out clean on the other side. Oh, you guys want a sneak peek on some new merch designs I've been working on? So you know how we sponsor Mike Perry? We love that guy. He's awesome. Well, I got a new shirt design underway where I made him a DBZ character. Right, we got the platinum and the tat. He looks rad, dude. If Mike Perry was in DBZ, he would come out looking like this, and Vegeta would just get on his ship and leave. You're not going to beat Super Saiyan Mike Perry, right? Also, Big Ben Rothwell, I've been working on him. I'm kind of making him look like Zangief from Street Fighter, right? I got some more work to do. Some of the details are off, but I'll smooth those over. I think we're getting a new merch supplier here pretty soon. Teespring it's either really good or really bad. And their customer service is kind of, you know, it's like spinning a roulette wheel. You don't know what you're going to get. Generally, if I sense a lot of panic or excitement, that's what makes me come out from under my rock for a little video. So it's always fun to be here. I love you guys. Tell your friends. Share it if they're new to this stuff. But overall, keep a cool head. Even if you don't have a lot of money in the market, just watch it. Watch it and learn. Do paper trading. Have a little journal. Say, I would have bought here, I would have sold here, and see how it does. There's a lot of people to learn from, and I'm excited for you. I think we got some good stuff on the horizon. The next 2 years is going to be good for crypto in particular. I'll see you next time.